Alright guys, this is the Australian Government Research Training Program at the Australian National University. It's a fully funded scholarship opportunity for Masters and PhD candidate or students. And it's open to both national and international students as well. The value is $28,854 per annum. That's 2022 value. It said each year, the Commonwealth Department of Education and Training provides funding to universities to award scholarship to domestic and international students undertaking higher degree research programs. So this scholarship is basically for research purpose, meaning that if you are coming for masters, you're coming for PhD at the Australian National University, should be that you are coming to do this program by research, not just normal, not a thought masters. By PhD is a full research. So let's continue. ANU, that's the Australian National University, currently conducts 2 annual central scholarship rounds, which includes the AGROTP, which is the Australian Government Research Training Programs, the University Research Scholarships, and a few other centrally managed scholarships. Round 1 is split into 2 parts. One for international candidates and one for domestic candidates with separate deadlines. 31st of August for international candidates and 31st of October for domestic candidates each year. Round 1 is for commencement from the following year, January through the end of March. However, current candidates who recently commenced enrolled typically or less than a year full-time equivalent can also be considered by completing the request for a current ANU to be considered for a HDRO scholarship form. Round 2 has a deadline of 15th of April and is typically a smaller round with commencement or take-up of the scholarship to the end of August of the same year. When you complete your admission application for HDRO program, you can select which scholarship you are interested to be considered for, including the AGROTP. There is no separate application form except of current candidates. Through the above link, for any further details or exemptions due to COVID-19 travel restrictions, please see below table on deadline. Alright, so this scholarship is an all year round scholarship. This is the application period. Application period is 1st of November to 31st of October the following year. So this scholarship at the moment is currently open. Eligibility. So the Commonwealth Scholarship Guideline Research sets the basis for the condition of award and outline the basic eligibility requirement for this scholarship. ANU has established an ROTP policy and procedure which outlines the standards, the procedures and conditions for this scholarship. These documents are available for reference from the reference document section of this page. But we'll get to that. So let's take the selection basis first. So selection basis. Candidates are ranked and scholarships are awarded based on competitive ranking process. To the top ranked candidates, subject to evidence they may meet merit-based selection criteria and subject to confirmation of a qualified supervisor. Space and resources being available in an area of research that is aligned with ANU research strategy. Benefits. Stipend for 3 years with the possibility of a 6-month standard extension and another 6-month extension if the reason for request falls within the additional eligibility criteria under item 15 period of support of the AGROTP procedure. That means the scholarship has an initial funding of 3 years, after which 6 months can be added if there is need. That's the 6 months is a standard extension, while if there is any additional reason why another 6 months should be added, another 6 months is also added, provided you can justify the reason why you want it to be extended. Then the next thing, travel and removal allowance for students relocating to Canberra to commence their research program. These are the benefits of the scholarship now, or what the package it contains. 3, thesis allowance. 4, dependent child allowance, international students only. So meaning that if you're an international student and you have a kid, you have a child, there was also an allowance that will be paid to you to take care of that child. So this scholarship is not just a scholarship is a very generous scholarship. Then two, paid medical, maternity, and parental leave, meaning that if you are a parent also, there's also a medical and maternity, parental and maternity leave that is also paid to you. See section 51 to 68 of the Research Training Program Scholarship Procedure. 6. Suspension of scholarship. See section 43 to 48 of the Research Training Program Scholarships Procedure, meaning that if you want to suspend your scholarship, there is a reason, or the agency might suspend your scholarship if you do not meet up certain conditions. However, we got to all of that later. Now, how to apply. It says commencing students, no application is required specifically for this scholarship, as all eligible candidates will be considered. Note, to ensure you are considered, please ensure you select the appropriate boxes in the admission application form to note that you are interested in being considered for any available scholarship. Continuing student, please complete and return the request for a current ANU student to be considered for a HROD scholarship form in your academic college. So meaning that as a prospective student, while you are applying, as a prospective or a would-be recipient and you're already a student at Australian National University, you should complete and return this form, the NNU student to be considered for a request scholarship. That form, you should complete it, you should fill it on your dashboard or on your portal. Then the next one is working outside the eligible HDR program. Students notify their delegated authority and chair of panel in writing of the extent of working arrangement as they are undertaking alongside their eligible HDR program. Upon commencement at ANU, within 20 working days of commencement, working arrangement, see section 72 of the Research Training Program Scholarship Procedure. If you want to be working, or you want to be a working student, there's a section that is you should refer to in the scholarship procedure, because they expect this scholarship agency, they expect that since you are coming, they are funding your almost everything, you are not expected to work, you should just focus on the research that you are coming for. Further information, say in order to be considered for a scholarship in round 1, international students are required to apply for admission by 31st August. Domestic students are required to apply for admission by 31st of October. Applications must be complete by the scholarship deadline, including all supporting documentation and referee reports in order to be considered in the scholarship ranking process. Referee reports and submitting your application at least 2 weeks prior to the scholarship deadline. Requests for referee reports are triggered and sent to your nominated referees at the time of submission of program application. Your referees must submit their reports prior to the scholarship deadline for your application to be considered complete. It is therefore strongly recommended that you submit your application in advance 2 to 3 weeks prior to the below deadline to allow time for your referees to provide their report prior to the scholarship deadline. Candidates are strongly encouraged to make contact with their prospective supervisor prior to lodging an application for admission to discuss the proposed research topic and related matters. I've said it time without number on this channel that if you are a postgraduate student, the first thing you should do while seeking for admission is to contact a supervisor. Discuss with him. This person is the one whom you will speak to, if not every day, at least every week, as regard your research for the whole period of your study in your master's or your PhD. This is the person you will talk to always. So contact him, let him know about what you want to research about, and if it aligns with his, he will give you an approval and you go ahead with your application, putting in your application. Then if he does not align with his, he may refer you to other of his colleagues whom their area relates with yours. And this can, help you do your work easily and foster your application process. So these are the deadline for the scholarship rounds. What we are looking at now for international students is that international students that are wishing or willing to commence their study by 2023 should send in their application on or before the 31st of August 2022. Then for domestic students who also wish to commence their studies in 2023 should send in their application on or before 31st of October 2022. Then for round 2 of the scholarship, round 2 of 2023 is closing by 15th of April 2023. So meaning that if you cannot meet up with the deadline of 31st of August, you can also meet up with the deadline of 15th of April 2023. However, you will also be commencing your studies in 2023. That is what is there. So let's continue. Let's see the research training program scholarship procedure. Then this is the research training program scholarship policy. So this is the purpose. It says the purpose is to align the standards, process, conditions for Australian government research training program to support higher degree by research for students. Higher degree by research. The HDRO we've been talking about, it means higher degree by research. That means if you are not coming in to do a research, this scholarship is not for you. Say allowance, a benefit of holding an ROTP stipend scholarship to assist with ancillary costs as detailed in the research training program procedure. For domestic students, the domestic student means an Australian student or an Australian citizen, a New Zealand citizen, an Australian permanent resident, and also an Australian humanitarian visa holder. So these are the people that are considered as domestic students. Then the next thing is eligible higher degree by research program. It means an accredited HDRO program leading to a Doctor of Philosophy or a Master of Philosophy or a professional doctorate by research defined by the Commonwealth legislation as an accredited course of study. Okay, then the next thing is a international student, a student who is not a domestic student. I believe I don't need to spend much time on that again. Then the next thing that we also look at, I see that it's important we look at it, says suspension. It's a period of time during which a student is not receiving ROTP stipend support but remains active in the program approved in accordance with the ROTP scholarship procedure. So just take note of that. Okay, we've talked about eligibility. Look at selection and offer, as there's a reason why you will be selected and why you will not be selected. It's a ROTP stipend scholarship are awarded to both domestic and international students through a competitive process and require admission to an eligible higher degree by research program. Then two, the next, domestic students automatically receive ROTP fee offset scholarship when admitted to an eligible HDRO program at the university. International students may be awarded a ROTP fee offset scholarship in a competitive process. The next, the period of support of this scholarship. The period of for each ROTP scholarship awarded, the following minimum and maximum period of ROTP entitlement apply. A research doctorate, a minimum of 3 years and maximum of 4 years full-time student load. That's the minimum and maximum both masters and PhD. Why for a masters, a maximum of 2 years full-time student load. There is no minimum for masters. The period of support for part-time students are double the full-time equivalent amount. That means if you are a student and you are coming to study on a part-time, your duration will be double of the full-time. That means for PhD, you'll be 8 years, while for masters, it will be 4 years. I think that's the most important thing that is needed for this scholarship. Okay, so let's look at what this university will need for its application. All right, we are still at the Australian National University. This is the application for admission process. Now, for you to apply, remember that for you to apply for a scholarship, you need to have applied to be a student. So your minimum eligibility for application is at least a second class honor or its international equivalent. Then 2, another degree with a significant research or thesis component that may be assessed as an equivalent to paragraph 1. Then 3, a combination of qualification, research publications and or professional experience related to the field of study that may be assessed as equivalent to paragraph 1. Admission to a master's philosophy degree at ANU. That's the first. What we just looked at now is for those who wish to study for a Doctor of Philosophy, that's doctoral program. While what we're about looking at now is for those who are applying for Masters of Philosophy or Masters by Research. 1, an Australian bachelor degree or higher with an overall grade of distinction or higher or its international equivalent. 2, another degree that may be assessed or as equivalent to paragraph 1. 3, a combination of qualifications, research publications, and or professional experience related to the field of study that may be assessed as equivalent to paragraph 1. Next, it says all applicants must meet the university's English language requirements. That means you must meet the English language proficiency. But we'll get to that now. Let's just go through the application process. Step 2, say draft a research proposal. The research proposal is you are carrying out research about a particular field. What do you intend to do in that field? How do you intend to carry out your research? What are your research questions, your methodology, your approach that you will use in carrying out that research? The draft proposal submitted along with the application is like a tool to outline your intended research or clarify your own ideas. It is more general and flexible to change once you have enrolled in your program. The draft of the proposal should be a short document. However, applicants may seek guidance from their potential supervisor about expectation on length and context. Please visit the research proposal web page for more information. So you can visit that page. Then the next is find a potential supervisor. That's the person that will supervise your research work. You should contact one. After that, confirm your referees. That means you will need to nominate up to 3 referees to support your application. You put their name, their email, and maybe possibly their phone number that this scholarship agency, that Australian National University, can send a report to them about you, that you are applying to study at their university, that they should give a report about you. Then after that, you submit your application. So then after submitting your application, then you receive an outcome or a feedback if you were admitted or your application was rejected. So that's the application route or the application process. So let's now look at the English language proficiency. Now I will just run through it straight. It says citizens of the following countries who have undertaken secondary and or tertiary study in English language at a recognized institution in the national education system of Group A or country below. That means any country that fall in this category will need not to provide English language proficiency test of any type. There we have Zimbabwe, we have Zambia, United States, United Kingdom, Trinidad and Tobago, Tonga, South Africa, Solomons Islands, Singapore, Samoa, Papua New Guinea, Nigeria, New Zealand, Liberia, Lesotho, Kenya, Jamaica, Ireland, Guyana, Ghana, Fiji, Canada, excluding Quebec, Botswana, Australia, Sao Tome, and American Samoa. So all of these listed countries will not need to submit an English language proficiency test scores. However, if your country does not fall in any of these categories, here is a list of test scores that you can submit. We have IELTS, we have TOEFL, and there is also the Cambridge C1 Advanced, the PTE Academic. So you can submit any of these for a consideration as English language proficiency test score. So that's it, guys. Please like this video. That is all for the Australian National University. Though it's a long one, bet it's worth it. That's all for the Australian National University. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel, and do put in your application as soon as possible. Remember that the deadline is 31st of August for international students and 31st of October for national students or domestic students, while the application window will be open again on 1st of November for both national, to open by 1st of November again for both national and international students. So any of them, you can apply to any of them you wish, depending on how you are comfortable with the deadline. Thank you. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel. I will see you in the next one. I am Moses. Thank you.